So tell me, so you've been in Rockland 22 years, you came to this house about 15 years ago. When you first came to this house, what's the first thing you thought?
The size.
Okay.
It was big and the lot was full size.
Right.
For the boys. I had 2 boys then.
Yep.
I says, okay, we can, the elbow space.
Right. Right. What size lot are we on here about?
Well, 1 acre.
About a full acre.
Short of an acre.
Right, which in Rockland is unusual in itself.
Is this large lot for in town.
Right, just
Right.
outside of town, about a half a mile from the...
Just half mile from the ocean and half mile from downtown too.
Yeah. So aside from the size of the house, what else kind of caught your attention about it?
The layout and being old.
Old, okay.
The 1848.
Okay.
The book show.
Right.
So it's, and I was the 3rd owner. I'm the 3rd owner of the house. 'Cause
Okay.
It was passed down generations.
Right.
And the guy before me had it for a year.
A year. So really, there's a very short interim between you and the
Right.
original family, which I think goes back to the Lovejoys. We're going to talk more about that.
Okay.
Right. Some of the original residents that came to Rockland originally.
Originally, right.
Yep. Okay. So it was the age of the house, the size of the house, and what kind of? I mean, I know you've done a lot to it. That's how I want to get inside and take a look at it. What was the condition of it back when you first came?
It was vacant for a year.
Okay.
The bank owned it, and then I accumulated it from the bank.
Okay.
So
Right.
then it had no water, no heat,
Okay.
and then I had to start from scratch, actually, from
Right. Okay.
putting new plumbing in
Yep.
and new heat system,
Okay. Yep.
and then to paint the walls and fix the cracks, and
Yeah. Okay.
and then
Excellent. Well, I think an old home is. I think it's. Would you say it's always a work in progress?
oh, it is, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the outside was okay, but then I just tweaked it on the outside and focused more on the inside, as you'll see when we get inside.
Right. Okay. So as we walk up to the house, point out to me some of the features, things that you saw originally that you saw that you don't see very often anymore.
Well, the glassed-in sunroom,
Yep.
the downstairs sunroom. Actually, the house is big enough to where each room has its name now.
Okay.
Like one of the bigger houses in the movies you see.
Right. Their name. Yeah.
You got each room. So the sunroom here this was a whole lot better shape.
Okay.
Back in 15 years ago.
Sure.
So this caught my eye, and then the potential of the covered porch.
Right.
See, I replaced these windows, and I
Yep.
brought them up so the covered porch can go here. So it's still on the list.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And then the decoration of the trim.
I noticed that,
You can
yeah.
see I guess they call that comb.
Okay. The comb. Yep.
Comb with the little tabs. And
Yeah.
I said, okay, that's part of and then the bay window on the 3rd floor.
Right.
And that room up there has got a round ceiling, you'll see.
Yep.
And it's still horsehair plastered
Sure.
ceiling. So
Right.
it was original.
Yep. I imagine that room is probably where back in the day, we're talking the 1840s, that was a clear view to the ocean.
It might have been.
It must have been, has to have been. More or less, you
Might
look
have
out to
been.
pretty close, and
Yes. Yeah.
if you don't have much town away. Okay. Well, that's good. Shall we go inside?
Yeah.
Yeah?
This is the main door to
Okay.
the house, and then
Right.
this is the door we use to go through the sunroom.
Well, like we said, a house is always a work in progress.
Right.
An older home. Okay.
And this is the side entrance, we
Okay.
would say.
Right. Okay.
And one can start which way?
We go to the kitchen.
The kitchen.
Okay.
This has been updated. New
Right.
sink, new cabinets,
Right.
and the dishwasher hole.
Right.
But it was just me, so I didn't need the dishwasher
Sure.
to be
Okay.
to use. This door here goes to the cellar.
Yeah, and there's a lot of interesting features here that go back to, harken back to the 1800s. The tin ceiling, which I know some of it is original, some might not be original, but some of the other ones are. And when you redid them,
And then I tried to match the original tin ceiling in the dining room, you'll see.
Yep.
That one's actually metal.
right?
And then this one here is
And then-
tiles.
Okay.
And there was something there. Oh, when I did the floor, you can see a silhouette in the floor where it looked like maybe the soapstone sink was
Okay.
back
really?
in the day.
Is that right?
It had a hole in the side, so maybe it was the pump. Because the cistern to the house is right below
Right.
us.
There's a cistern in the basement.
So I would just feel that the old
You'd have been there. And tell me about the oven on the wall.
the bread oven.
Yeah.
It's got the cove in the back, but the back of it's gone.
Right.
And then the fire boxes are down below. And then
Okay.
this one here,
Right.
you'll see,
Sure.
that the firebox is here too for what appears to be 5 or 10 gallons of water. I think this is the hot water section.
Okay. Oh, so they could heat up hot water.
The hot water was here.
Right. And this fireplace, is this been capped off? Is it functional?
No, it's been capped off from the roof.
Right.
And then the boxes have been sealed before I got it, so it looks like they didn't use it for years.
Right.
Which you can see inside there was, the bread oven back in the day and the hot water.
Sure. Well, that would have been a luxury. I mean, this is a sea captain's home would have had, in its day, the highest end finishes. Quite a luxury, yeah.
Right.
Okay. Well, perfect. Let's keep taking us through. Where would you want to go next with it? So.
And then this is the ramp room. We call the ramp room.
Okay.
And this is just the attachment to the barn.
Okay.
And then I put a new floor in because the floor originally was all chopped up. Like this was the catch-all wood for the boxes.
Okay.
And then I put in a new pantry for the...
Nice.
So this is and then taking advantage of the space.
Yep. And you put a deck off the back.
And then off the deck, 10x9 deck with an 8x10 double sliders.
Yep, and a nice private backyard.
You're going into the secluded backyard, right?
Yep, which are train tracks which are no longer run on trains.
Right.
That's the old rail.
You'll see the old maintenance truck come by now and again.
Once in a while, sure. Okay. So let me go back into the house, and there's a large barn. We'll check that out to the end. Okay.
And then I put the island in. Put the stove in the island because it had no place for the stove.
Right.
So you might as well
take advantage of it.
And then this appears to be the servants' staircase.
Okay. Cool. So we go up the other staircase, so we can come, I guess, back it down through here, right? Okay. So this is an interesting room here because obviously here you have that ceiling.
The 9-foot ceilings, most of the house.
Yeah, which in its day was a very luxurious. Right. Because
and the large windows.
Yep.
Too.
Also take advantage of the ocean and the
light. Mm-hmm. And then this radius corner. This is supposedly a factor.
Okay.
When the contractor builds a house, the guy wants to see a round corner to show his skill level.
Right.
If he's able to make it.
A round corner. And it was I remember you had mentioned to me too about with the sea captains, they liked the round corners. We'll see the upstairs room, the round ceiling. Because on ships, right? Ships
the holes had the curve,
because the curve that made them feel comfortable, right? And then I see, and you finished off you've done the molding,
the crown mold. I put the crown mold. It had a small crown mold to it.
Right.
So I added this to it to clean it up.
You steam bent around the curve.
I did.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
And then this could be the downstairs bedroom.
Right.
Or an office. Mm-hmm. It does have a plug in the floor here.
Okay.
For like a desk. Yeah. It does have a large closet.
Yeah, multi-purpose room at this point.
And then a fireplace.
Okay.
Chamber here. There's no hole there. It appears to have been the coal stoves.
Okay.
Were here and there, and then even in the dining room has a little place.
So this one is capped off, the fireplace?
No, this one is operable.
Oh, it is operable. Okay.
Because the gas water heater down in the cellar.
Okay.
Did have a furnace.
Runs up through it.
So this is the only chimney going through the roof.
Gotcha.
And the other two chimneys are capped off.
Capped off. So this one, but it's running. This is for your furnace downstairs.
Correct.
Okay. Excellent. And here you have the original boards, right? The pine floors, right? Which are the hardwood floors.
And the full-size windows. And then when I replace the windows, I put regular windows in, and then I put a little upper window.
Oh yeah.
So when the shades are pulled, you still have light.
Yeah, that's really a nice touch, right?
Utilizing the oversized windows.
Right. Which is the room that has the original ceiling? Is it?
The dining room.
Dining room here. So this room, I see you've done a good job of matching the ceilings.
Well, I tried to be the closest.
Close you can get. You're never
so I did that ceiling to match, and then the kitchen and the lamp room.
Right.
So the first floor kind of has the tin ceiling effect, but this one has the tin.
Yeah, the actual tin looks great.
And it used to have a drop ceiling in here because
is that right?
Apparently two sisters lived here. It's a duplex.
Mm-hmm.
So one sister up, one down, and this was a drop ceiling to, I guess, quiet.
Sure. It also makes it easier to heat, whatnot, I guess.
Somewhat for this.
Right, but so what you've done is you've essentially taken it back to its original,
Right.
right, what the captain would have experienced, or the people in the
Back
day.
in the day.
Right. Okay.
This is the living room. It came with the carpet.
Okay.
So I just kept the carpet because the floor underneath was rough.
Okay.
There was a scuttle hole here. Apparently that's where the coal may be stored
Okay.
for the heaters.
Okay.
And this is still the same 9-foot ceiling.
9-foot ceiling. This window trim. This is all original.
Right.
What? This has all been. Because you know this is unusual. I mean,
Right. And
I've
it's a
seen
wide trim.
You often don't see the trim the way they
Double stacked.
yeah, double stacked it, and then this bump out here. That was the way it was.
Right.
So,
This is the trim's original baseboard.
right.
High baseboard.
And again, you had the extra pane put in up there
Right.
to fix it in. Because it would have been originally
A full double.
up and down window.
And then
right?
it still had the weights
Okay.
in these windows when I replaced them.
Right.
And then the rooms had the pull chains on the lights.
Okay.
It still had the old pull chains.
Yeah. Well, we've obviously done a lot of work on it. How about the ceiling in this room?
This came with this.
Okay. Again,
This must be original.
sure, it looks original. It's all nicely combed out molding with a pattern there. Again, the high ceilings is something you don't see in a lot of older homes.
Right.
We were in one just for yesterday where it's really looking at a very low ceilings in old homes.
It's like 7 foot for the heat. You know, back in the day they was trying to save the heat. But
Right. Here, the captain had. Today, it's not such a problem because we have modern heating.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Where's the next one we
And
go?
now this is the main entrance.
Okay, so this will be the main entrance to the home.
The original bells
Yep.
to the house, they work.
They work. Okay. Yep. Just turn them from
Right.
outside.
Outside, right.
Okay.
And you'll notice the short handrail here.
Yep. Again, that's kind of trademark for the era.
And then it comes around and stays the same. I guess back in the day they didn't know how to raise it.
Sure. It could be raised if someone wanted to, but still preserve the
It's
the
still
curvature. But again, you see the curve. The wall matches the
curved corner there,
curved corner of the
right?
staircase, right? And even here is a
And
they've
even-
curved the wall here.
Oh yeah, they did some handcraft in here.
Yeah.
And the 9-foot ceilings in this entryway.
Right. Which again is even more on the second floor is even more unusual.
Right.
Sometimes there are even lower ceilings than second floors,
And this is the staircase to the 3rd floor.
which we'll get to. Okay.
And this is the hall bath with a laundry room.
Right.
This was the kitchen to the upstairs
Okay.
duplex.
Great. So when you acquired the house, it was a duplex.
Right.
This was in a kitchen.
And this is
So you took advantage of the plumbing by putting in washer and dryer.
commode,
Right.
sink,
Nice sink.
new. This is all new.
Right. Right. Half partial wall for that. So.
And then the garden windows. I took the big window out and utilized the garden window
Right.
to get the sink in.
Right. Yeah. It gives you a nice sense of light. You can also put some plants in there.
Right.
Which is what it's kind of designed for, right? Yeah. And the molding was coming around already. You just.
No, I put this in
Yeah. So it's nice.
because this was the cabinets, and then it was
Okay. Yeah.
And
So
this
what you've
is
done
the
is you
skin.
really you
preserved what I could.
yeah you've done what you could, and then the things you put in the trim you've been consistent with the original character.
Right. I try to
of the
yeah.
home, which is unusual. I mean, unusual in that it's not everybody has the skills to do it.
Right.
Right. With
Yeah.
time,
And that's
right. You obviously invested a lot of time and thought in how am I going to bring this house.
planning to pull wire, do this
Right.
as we were going.
Yeah, because you've rewired the house.
Correct. It's all new wire.
Yeah.
This is the bathroom original.
Okay.
This had the claw tub, the sink,
Right.
and
Okay.
the commode was here.
Interesting.
You'll see the medicine cabinet in the corner.
Oh yeah. Okay. So now it's made into a small office.
Also office space.
Yeah. That's nice. Again, some of the original windows. Trims
Yeah,
around
this
there.
is original. This window here is the only one that goes up into the wall.
Oh, look at that. Okay. That's how it was constructed originally.
Right. And
Interesting.
then I just put a new storm window instead of
Okay.
replacing this.
Yep.
Just leaving the original.
Right.
And then I was able to save the window with the storm window.
And the trim around it too.
And then this
Yeah.
is
Nice. Again, the trim too. This was here. You
right. The wainscot was here for this
wainscot.
bathroom.
Oh, the wainscot was already here. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just put the floor in because of the.
So now we're going down into probably what would have been servants' quarters. Is that right?
Right.
It's
I'm,
this
I'm
one?
guessing this is
Yeah.
based off of what I see. This is the sunroom off This is the room above the center room we had downstairs.
Right, that screened in the closed-in porch.
This is all new.
Yeah, this is a
New
beautiful
skin, anyway, new windows.
Right. Yeah.
And then I put a mural, took advantage of the big wall.
Kitty cat.
Advantage of the big wall, then put the mural in.
Yeah, it's a nice room.
Yeah.
You know, it's I mean, it's breezy, it's airy, it's got.
I think back in the day, these windows were bigger because one of the ladies lived here, couldn't breathe.
Okay.
So they had to make the big windows so she could have the outside air.
Right. That's
And still be in the house.
Yeah, and it's fantastic. Yeah, and then yeah, looking down to the rest, it would have been an estate, right? You were telling me when we first got together that there was probably the next property was where the blacksmith shop was.
Yeah, I think so. I think that house was.
Right, the blacksmith shop.
I'll find out Tuesday when I go to the archives.
Okay, excellent.
Let's see if that's.
Yeah, that'd be on the
On the property, this triangle. See, the tracks have been here a long time. And then before the tracks, it shows a road coming in and coming around into the barn. So that's how they got into the bottom of the barn. I guess for the cow waste.
Sure. Yep, that's what they would heat it too. Yep, in the winter.
Yeah.
Keep the cow waste in there. Okay, nice.
And then we're going down the hall. This is I would guess the servant staircase.
Right, it goes right back down to the entrance.
To the side entrance. And this wall went all the way up when I got it.
Okay,
so
so you
was
opened
part
it
of
up.
the duplex. This lady had these two rooms.
Okay.
And then that was that half.
Nice.
And this is one of the, I'm guessing, the servants' quarters, I'm guessing.
Right.
I don't know for sure, but it does have the built-in cabinet. And one of the chimneys is right next to that.
Okay.
So now we're back to the half of the house with the second floor's got the regular ceilings.
Okay. Right, not as high, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. But still a good height. And I'm seeing a lot of the older homes that we go into, they have a 7-foot ceiling.
You can touch it, and here you still can't touch them.
Exactly. Right.
And this is over the ramp room.
Okay, the ramp room
Downstairs.
Yep, and right next to the barn.
So this was the original closet, it appears. And then they added this closet.
Okay.
Some years later, at the same time, it still has horsehair plaster
In there.
on this skin.
Okay, so that means it was probably done in the 30s or 40s. At the
Then the horse, the boards, the planks, will show still
They
going
continue
across.
straight through. Yep, same planks. Yep. Okay. So when you were growing up in the house, how did you have your family laid out here? Were the boys in this section?
That's the oldest one was here.
Right.
He's now a chemical engineer.
Okay.
And then now the little one was.
Okay.
And he's on his final year of pre-med up in Orono,
Right.
north of Bangor.
Yeah. Yeah. What was it like raising the family in Rockland?
It was so good. It was good. The schools are good.
Yeah.
And they graduated top of their class.
Okay.
In the top group.
Yeah.
And then they went on to the
Right.
advanced in the college.
Yeah. What'd you like? What'd you find? What were some of the things you liked best about it with the boys and just?
The theater. They did theater and band.
Right.
So you got to go to the plays.
Yeah.
And he did track.
Okay.
So he was able to do the track and the cross country.
Right.
And it was a scary day when they run into the woods and would
Yeah.
come back for 10 minutes.
Okay.
And then come back out going, oh, thanks.
How about living down so close to downtown? Did you take advantage of that much?
Oh, every weekend we always walk. Even at Christmas, I got a thing from the oldest boy that here's a coupon that I won't complain when we walk to town.
Okay.
So I used that every week because he didn't give the expiration date. It wasn't used once, so I used it against him.
Is that right? Okay.
And then he goes, okay, and then we, with the strollers, and then we got to where we were walking.
Yeah. How old were the boys when they started here? You moved here?
One was 2.
Okay,
the
wow.
oldest was 2.
Small. Yeah.
Was 4? 2,
Yeah.
2. He was 2. He rode in the console of the U-Haul.
Okay, so they grew up in this house, really.
Right. They did.
Yeah.
Right.
For the most part, yeah. Yeah, amazing. So check out the what's the attic? The 3rd floor? What do we call it?
We'll check the master bedroom on this floor.
Oh yeah, perfect.
So now we're on the other half, over the living room.
Yeah.
And I built this cabinet in here added storage
Right.
to this dead spot.
Yep. So you took advantage of the space nicely.
Right.
Yeah, what I like about this house is the way it does lay out for like having a master suite. Right. This is really unto itself.
Right.
Again, and the family is over in the
That
other part of the
house.
house.
But actually, I made the bathroom out of one of the bedrooms.
Okay.
So this is what we're calling a master suite.
Yep.
Still the 9-foot ceilings.
Yeah.
Place for the coal stove.
Right. Now today this is a what, propane?
Right.
Running a propane stove heater, and it's going up. It's vented.
Just this ain't vented. There's no vent on
No,
these,
these
but
are
they
unvented.
could.
They could be. Okay.
could be.
Gotcha.
And this was the closet
Right. Okay. Oh
for
yeah.
this room.
Right.
Little bitty closets back there with the hutches, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I took this back wall out and took the bedroom adjacent to that room
Okay. Would have been a smaller bedroom.
and made the master suite.
Correct. So
So this is all new.
Yeah.
New bathroom, double sinks, walk-in showers, tile floor,
Yeah.
and the same kitchen window.
Oh yeah.
Garden window there.
Yeah.
The
Nice
blocked
light.
the view and the towel holder. Then this is the tub that came out of that other bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the original claw tub. I painted the bottom, made it. And then you see the lights. You know, I still.
Yeah. And you got the tin ceiling again. You preserved that tin ceiling.
Right, I use that again.
Yeah. That motif. That's consistent with the house. I like that.
And the open bottoms, so we don't get
Right.
nasty on it. Yeah, that switches over
That's
there.
okay. Yeah. Toilet here.
And then the walk-in closet, I took
Right.
some of that other bathroom. The
Right.
kitchen, where it was the kitchen, I
Right.
took some of that to make the walk-in closet.
Right. So that would have been an entrance to the room. Would have been.
It
Here.
was right here in that cabinet that I built.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I
So
hid that door.
Right. So it's a really smart way to reutilize. You have a lot of space up here.
Right.
Really utilized it in an excellent way.
And then the custom closet with shoe rack and everything, and the shelves in the back. So it's
A lot of nice touches. Yeah.
double sink, and then this is a park bench.
Yep.
So to have a bathroom big enough to put
Put a park bench in.
to use.
Yeah.
And then this was the closet
Sure. Right.
that was to this room. That's just now the utility closet.
Yeah. Yeah, it worked out really well. I mean,
Yeah, it's
the layout is really nice.
and then once again trying to plan everything to make it layout flow, minimize the plumbing,
Right.
then utilize that walk-in closet because these houses didn't have closets.
Correct. Right. They didn't have closets. They didn't have plumbing either, for that matter.
Right.
They were built. So you had to figure
And
that
bring
out.
in plumbing,
Right. It's all PEX.
PEX and
Yeah.
PVC.
Yep. Yep. Here again, you use these windows. You get the light at the top.
These windows are the same size. On this side, there's 4 windows the same size, so
Yep.
and the front's the same. And I built that bed in this room,
Really?
so it actually has to go with the house.
Is that right? It's
If
gorgeous.
they don't want it, I have to actually
Oh my
cut
gosh.
it up to
Really?
deck it out.
It's a
Because
beautiful
it
bed.
is a single piece of wood
Wow. Wow.
utilizing the
I think that's a good. I mean, that does show your. I mean,
to build
yeah. I
something
mean,
that
it's
stays
the
there.
craftsmanship is there, no doubt.
And now this is the 3rd floor.
Okay.
This is what they call a finished attic.
Okay.
So this would be the attic to the house. But, and I just painted this out. This is all pretty much the way it came.
Sure.
There's 2 rooms up here. This room. This must have been the infant's room. I'm guessing back in the day,
Like a nursery.
the nursery, and then maybe the lady
Sure.
lived across the hall.
Right.
So this has the cabinets. There's one small little closet here.
In the eaves, yeah. And a large window.
Now we're in the gable part of the whole house. And the view. I mean, this is still.
Yeah, it's nice.
And then we got the giant closets.
They go all the way back through in the eaves. Yeah.
Then this one here goes all the way front to back. And this short handrail again. Another little closet. Little window. That's the dormer.
Oh yeah. Now we're in
This
the curved room, so Yeah, I would definitely say that in the day, 'cause remember these trees are going to be a couple hundred years old by now. Those trees blower, and you would have had a.
You would have been close.
I bet it's seasonal. You do in the winter. You probably do have some.
No, it's still clogged up.
Clogged up.
So I bet back in the day you saw the mass of the sailboats.
Sure, you could see that where you would see
Those
that.
those big boats back in the day.
Yep. Yeah.
Original floor. So I just painted out the second floor, the third floor. Just it's easier to.
Sure, but you have the rosettes motif on the.
And that window seems to be. It's new, but it's not current. And then I put in the new wire. You got to put in the outlets in the wire.
Right.
While you're going to the third floor.
Yeah, and there's a lot of skill to make a curved ceiling in general.
That must have
To
been.
do an archway like this, yeah.
And then that lattice that had to go on there.
Right.
And then the
What's above this?
Just the pitched roof, or just that roof.
Okay.
It must be just a little void right here.
So they curved into it. Amazing. Yeah.
So I'm surprised they didn't do it over there, but I guess one was enough.
Sure. Yeah. Interesting. The door stop right
A
there.
little door, yeah.
Yeah.
It came with a house, so
Yeah.
you can see where they.
They thought through details.
Right.
Yeah.
Out to the barn.
Okay.
And this would be I'm guessing, the servant staircase.
Right. This is the wall you cut down.
This is.
Yeah.
And to follow up a little bit on this room, the dining room, off this room is the downstairs bathroom.
Right.
But I'm guessing this was the butler's pantry at the day.
Okay.
Because when I redid the kitchen, there was a silhouette of the door by that refrigerator.
There's a full bath down here.
And it's a small shower.
Yep.
So that's new, but it's original, but it's updated. So that must have been the butler's pantry.
Right.
And some of my youngest ones work.
Oh yeah.
And then the oldest ones work. He was in band.
There you go. Yeah.
No. And cellar. You want to walk through the cellar?
Yeah, we can. Sure. It's interesting.
There's history. The cistern.
The battery. Good. No, I'm good. Okay, good. Okay.
Okay, this is the door to the cellar.
Okay.
Go down first.
And if you'll notice here, the light is original to show that the cellar light's on.
Oh,
This
okay.
was to tell the owner
The cell light
that the
was on.
cellar light was on. Because you drive by houses, you'll see the cellar light on.
Okay.
You don't know if they left it on or not. And
So they put a indicator
so I just
light
put
on
a small light in here that tells me.
there. Right. Nice. Okay. Let's come on down to the cellar.
This is the cellar. And this is the concrete floor.
Right.
You don't usually catch those in old houses. They must have updated it.
Sure, it was poured at some point. You don't know when.
At some
but
point,
at some
right.
They poured a slab, which is nice because it would have been dirt,
And I had the walls sprayed with foam and painted
Right.
out.
which helps a lot with the heating costs.
Oh, a lot.
Because it keeps the
So you feel the cool now.
kind of a constant temperature. Yeah, it's very warm out today. It's up in the 80s today.
It's sticky, right?
Yeah, and it keeps it very cool. Doesn't feel humid down here, right, which is nice. Some pump that probably runs occasionally.
Yeah, I've seldom.
Seldom, yeah.
And then a big chimney. And then
Right.
this had the big pipe for it. Had a steam boiler, as you see the pad, back in the day. And I took that out because it was so old.
Right.
And I shook the pipe one day and it broke.
Yeah, sure.
And it was full of rust.
Sure.
So I said, oh, that's got to go.
Yeah.
And I've got the water heater in. And new panels, new wire, of course.
Yep.
New windows that fit the little frames.
Sure.
New plumbing. And then you'll see the old knob and tube.
Right.
What you see here is all dead, but I left the knob and tube in here
Just to see it.
so let the next guy show the history.
Right. when they first electrified the houses.
Electric, yeah,
Right.
this is. Then that must have been a work in progress because this little cabinet has the little insulators
Oh, is that funny?
that the wire would go through. You'll see them here.
Oh, yeah.
You'll see that when they went through the rafter, they didn't want the wire directly, so they made these insulators go through the.
Interesting. And they would keep them right in there, just the spares.
Oh, this must have been
Like a work cabinet for them.
yeah. So it's a simple.
Yep, that's really the early 1900s, 1920s. Houses being electrified.
And I'm not sure what that was. If that was a storage spot for the coal, maybe
Right.
back in the day. Get it up off the floor. And then you work your way back here. And this is the cistern. They took that section out
Right.
to get in there.
They would have held water in there.
Would have, all right. I was
Right.
looking for a pipe, for a drain pipe for the rain gutter. Sometimes
Sure.
you'll catch the old house, the rain gutter will drain
Flow right
into
the
here.
cistern, yep.
And this,
Was even a servant's commode.
there was a round bowl on here. And then there was a pipe here with a handle that would flush it. So it didn't have the tank, just the bowl that the,
Right.
so
You're
it-
going to city sewer here, so that's
yeah.
been disconnected a long time, I'm sure. Yeah.
Well, this still works. The
It
pipe's
still
still,
works. Is that right?
right, this pipe's still hot and it
Okay.
goes right into the city right there.
Okay. There you go.
So they could go to an antique place and find another bowl if they just so
So
wanted to bring it back.
Isn't that funny?
And then you'll see the old beams in here. This is the newer beams. Some of the older houses would have the logs,
Sure.
the bark still on them.
Yeah, for sure.
So this was still the full size. And they
Yeah.
cut into the bigger beams.
Dimensional lumber, yeah. These were you replaced any of them? Or they were already done.
Oh
when you
no,
got-
this is original in ceiling. So I'm on apparently a ledge.
Okay.
So that's why the foundation held up so well here all this
Right.
time.
No, very little settling. You
And
don't
you'll see
notice
a little
lot
pieces
settling.
of it sticking out. And then over there on the back corner, off these corners, the ledge is out.
Yeah, it's also could be why they built this up as well. Probably could have a piece of ledge
Might
there.
have been right. You get a flat surface.
Yeah. Very good.
And an oversized door,
Yep. So you can get in easy enough. And-
furniture all the way out.
Right. So this is just his garage, and you could obviously you've got a garage door in it, so you can pull your trucks in.
Right.
car in. Yeah, you can easily fit a couple cars in. You put one in apparently.
Yeah, I just used the one, but
Right.
we could put 6 in here, I bet. If you had a collection, you could.
Yeah.
And you could make this wider for a double car garage.
You could.
For him and her.
Sure.
And then to move the staircase
Yeah.
back, because I put this staircase in for easier access to the second floor.
Yeah. These are the classic timber frame barns that we find throughout the 1800s in Maine. These massive timbers that they're built out of.
And this was the original barn here.
Okay.
And then some years later, they've added the back half.
Is that right?
Right, it shows the timbers different.
Okay.
And you can see the back of this wall upstairs
Okay.
is exposed.
It's a little bit newer, the back part.
And then the slider door is still hanging. That used to slide across.
To divide them out.
So this must have been a walkout to the back of the
Yeah.
yard.
When you first came to this house 15 years ago, did you ever think you would have got this much done to it? I mean,
Yeah, I would have thought I got more done.
is that right? Yeah.
It's a time thing. You have time, but you don't have time. When you feel
Okay.
you don't have the time.
Yeah. How did you break it down? You worked on it like room by room? Or how did you?
Yeah, that's the first day was a trauma of oversized job, and then no, it's just one room at a time, and bring it down to the panel, and bring it down, and write it out what you wanted, and then put it together, and then sheetrock and tape, and
Yeah.
paint it out, and put the oversized trim in it to make it match.
Had you been working on old houses before? Or was it you just getting started
I've
with
been a handyman for 40 years,
Okay.
so I have an idea of all the fields.
Right.
And then worked with an electrician for 10 years,
Right.
then a plumber.
Right.
So understanding how to do it right.
Right.
The right size wire to this item, and then pulling it to the panel. Then okay,
Right.
and not too many items on one wire.
Sure, for the electrical, sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And
And then for the trimming and the sheetrock
then
and the
trim
plastering.
I used to trim houses, and then frame houses back in the day,
Right.
the starting days. And then okay, there we go. And then now I feel well rounded on all the skill levels.
Right.
And now you get old, and now you have to teach somebody to
Right.
what you know. But able to use it here was perfect for this size of a house and the roominess of it.
Right.
I was able to pull the wire with minimum damage and then repair it.
Okay. Yeah.
And then now I have this barn, because that was another feature of getting the house too, was this size of barn.
Sure.
Because it was empty the first day.
The first day.
It was empty.
Yeah.
So now and that's the original staircase to the barn.
That would have been up to the second floor of the
To the
barn.
second floor, right.
We can go up there in a second, yeah.
And then you'll see the switch there to the upper left. That was the switch to the upstairs.
Oh, that throw switch
That
there?
open switch.
Yeah. Okay. That's no longer
No longer
electrified.
alive. No, there's no power except for the lights
Okay.
in this room now. Yeah, I left the knob tube
Yep.
and the workbenches, and then this bench back here might be a super thing. I've got the stuff in the way, but
Oh, yeah. It's an old workbench.
the old workbench where there's no telling what was here back in the day. They didn't have any handles. It was the 2-finger handle thing.
Oh, yeah. Finger pulls. Huh. So it sounds like you've enjoyed Rockland, too.
Ah, it's a good place. It's a good city.
Yeah.
It's just the boys are getting out of school now, and it's like, and all the families down in Texas. So
Right.
I'm just okay. I can
Time to-
liquidate now
Time to downsize.
and go and downsize. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of a family's coming to Rockland, let's say, for a house like this? What do you think is what would you say is, what advice would you give them to?
It'd be a good house for a large family,
Right.
and then for middle class too, on with kids, because I'm just a block from the school.
Right.
So they would, if they worked from home, they could walk the kid to school and
Right.
work all day, and then go back and pick them up for
Right.
8 years.
Yeah. Which in today's world, a lot of people do work remotely. They don't need to
Right. There's a lot of stay-home workers from online. So
be. Yep. And being just a half mile from the downtown Rockland.
downtown and the ocean, there's a small beach downtown. They could go right to the waterfront.
Spend much time out there with the kids?
Not a whole lot, but some. We could pick up the glass.
Yeah.
You know, then
sea
that's
glass?
it's picked over. Yeah, it's picked over pretty good. So
The sea
if you
glass.
found one, it's
Yeah.
okay. We got one.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the second floor,
Yeah. Well.
and that's pretty much the whole house. You can see the where the 3,200 square feet comes in.
Yeah.
And I got 2,800 feet in the barn, so
Was that-
technically I have 7,000 feet.
38 and was it 38 and 22?
28 and 32.
That's 6.
38, 6 and 7?
38 and 22 is, I think, 6,000 square feet.
6,000 square feet.
It's unbelievable, though. It's a lot of space.
It's a lot of
Right.
space under the roof.
Yeah. What I find really impressive, though, is quite honestly the work you've done to it.
Right.
I mean, seriously, it's 15 years,
Of just piddling.
right? But piddling with a skill set that I
Right.
think not a lot of people are going to have. And so
You
the
take your
house-
time. The
Right.
trick was to take my time and do it right,
Yep.
and then trim it out right instead of throwing it together like a flip house. It's
Right.
okay. This is where you stay,
Yeah.
and then the goal now is to take the vinyl siding off and then save the clapboard underneath and
Okay.
repaint that,
Right.
and then bring that back to original.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Are there any mixed emotions to sell it?
it'd be sad because you raised the boys here. We
Yeah.
had the marker on the door jamb there for a while, but then they
Right.
quit playing. I said okay, but
Yeah.
and then I never pushed the boys, but
Right.
but they grew up and be good kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then this was from the small town, from a small waterfront, and able to walk to town
Right.
to get things. And then we have the big stores, the hardware stores. And
Right. Not too far
so
away.
this is a good big city that's small.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
raise the kids here. And it's a good school. I mean, in my case, the teachers were good because they were in the honor classes too, so that helped.
Yeah.
To make them advance in the school they went to, the college.
Yeah. What do you see for the future of a house like this?
If they would leave it alone, some people would talk about making a triplex out of this.
Is that right?
So then that would ruin it.
Yeah.
So the duplex was bad enough. So first thing was to take that duplex out. But if the right person just wanted it for the house itself, they don't have to use the whole house, but don't tear it up and make it a triplex. But
yeah, I get you. Okay.
But
well, I definitely get the feeling you've enjoyed living here.
That's the best. This is the best. It's full size, off the road parking. It's the barn, able to store stuff, raise the boys, go to town.
Yeah. Well, the next person's going to be, I think, very fortunate.
Yeah. Well, they'll be glad they have it.
Yeah. Think of the next generation.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks, Todd.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Mike.
it.